Bueno amigos, este video será un poquito diferente a las entrevistas habituales que se hacen en este canal. Tuve el chance de tener una llamada con nada más y nada menos que Genndy Tartakovsky, quien es el creador y al mismo tiempo director de muchas series bastante populares, entre ellas El Laboratorio de Dexter, Samurai Jack, Primal y recientemente Unicorn Warriors Eternal. Sin embargo, es una entrevista completamente diferente a la habitual. En primer lugar porque fue una llamada con audio de la cual salieron muchas cosas interesantes, y en segundo lugar también porque, pues como podrán ver, el set está cambiando. Honestamente espero que esta entrevista les sirva a muchos de ustedes para encontrar inspiración o aprender un poco más de la industria. Es posiblemente la entrevista más importante que se ha hecho en la historia de este canal, pero ya estoy añadiendo mucho a esto. Vamos a la entrevista, disfrútenla.
Todo lo que conocen es una mentira. Cuestionen todo.
It's amazing to talk with you. You are a living legend on the animation industry. So, are you okay if we start this interview?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. This is the third show created by you that premieres on Adult Swim, fourth if we count with removal of Dexter's Lab. So what do you think is the reason for your excellent relationship with Adult Swim and Cartoon Network?
I mean, I was there at the very beginning. Having Dexter was the first Cartoon Network show, original series, and then through the 30 years, you build relationships. People come and go, but generally there's still a lot of the same people that we all started Cartoon Network together, and it was always a great experience. We're always people, and we treat each other with respect, and there's faith in each other and trust. And so it's a very comfortable home for me, They like what I do, and so I'm very happy about that. And they give me the trust and the freedom to do it. So why would I want to go anywhere else, for TV? Because it's always been a home, and I'm a very I'm a company man by heart. I like to be loyal. I like to have the network succeed and the shows succeed. I'm very happy when other shows do really well, and at the height of the Cartoon Network days, it was great. Because we have Powerpuff successful, Dexter successful and stuff, and so it was an exciting time. So yes, I think, and with Adult Swim, it's all the same people that broke off from Cartoon Network to start Adult Swim, and some new ones come in and everything. And so having the longevity and seeing Adult Swim develop, and then to be able to do a show like Primal is incredible.
Where did the idea for Unicorn Warriors Eternal come from? I know that you have been developing this for near 20 years, sorry.
It came from, I wanted to do something different. We were just finishing up on Clone Wars, and we were finishing up Samurai Jack. So it was a lot of swords and lasers and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to do something with magic, and the show started out with magic versus technology. That's kind of the initial theme of it. And so it started to come together like that. And then with the idea of these heroes who are reawoken inside different bodies, it became a metaphor for growing older. When you're a kid, then you become a teen, and a teenager becomes an adult. That was very exciting, but I couldn't sell it. I tried and nobody wanted it. I don't know if it was too complex or it's just the timing was bad. It's hard, it's a business. But what I gained from it is I was able to have 3 children, and through the last 20 years, I saw them grow up and become different people, and that really gave me a lot more ideas for the show. And then the show changed from being about magic versus technology to really about the duality of who you are. Especially like with Melinda, that all of a sudden there's 2 people, and is she Emma, is she Melinda, how does she break out of it? And so that became more at the forefront of the show.
Dexter has multiple references to science fiction, anime series and movies, so Primal has a lot of elements from westerns and 70s movies. So what were your non-animated inspirations for Unicorn Warriors Eternal?
Non-animated?
Non-animated, yes.
I mean, one of the inspirations was this comic book called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And it was really one of the best. I don't know if you've ever read it or you heard about it, but it's one of the most incredible written stories that put all these characters together, and the dynamics are amazing between them. You know, so I was really inspired by that. I was like, oh, how can I get these great dynamics in the story? And then I think it's, you know, I think everything that I love is the inspiration for everything. You know, I didn't specifically watch anything different or anything. Unicorn just kind of came out from what I've wanted to do, you know, and having that feeling, and something on a grand scale, you know, and really the reference of the children growing up, that was the really bigger inspiration.
Are there any elements like the pacing or the art style from your previous series and movies that you have added into this new one?
I mean, it's the same language, just done in a very different way, because this one was inspired by Fleischer and Tezuka, you know, who's inspired by Fleischer. And so creating this more volumetric, cartoony language, you know, very old style, but translating it into a contemporary style of filmmaking.
It's rare to see these days a series that isn't based on previous materials, so how do you think this can change? Because Unicorn Warriors Eternal is an exception to the usual rule, just like Primal, and how we can promote original content and drive original ideas about IPs in the future.
They have to be successful. That's all it is. If Primal didn't succeed, it would be harder to do Unicorn. You know, and I usually get a lot of offers to do IP. You know, oh, we have this story or we have this video game, can you do it, you know? And I always say no, even if it looks kind of cool, because I feel like, you know, I got to this point because of my original, because of Dexter, because of Samurai, because of Primal. And so hopefully if Unicorn's successful, then other people will see the success and they go, well, we want our own Unicorn or Primal. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what we can only hope for. But yeah, it's much easier in a way to go, oh, I've got these comic books or the stories that's already successful, and we already have a built-in audience, you know, so you already have an edge when you're doing IP, you know, and then when you have something as successful as like Super Mario Brothers, you know, that just came out, it's hard to argue. You know, it's made so much money, you're like, I'm happy for the success, but at the same time, wouldn't it be great if it was original, you know?
Okay, this is the last question, so after these 35 years of career, what would be the best advice you would give to the 2024 version of yourself? The 2004 version of yourself, the year you started developing Unicorn?
To myself,
yes.
I would say be open to ideas, focus on the characters. The characters are the key. Like, stories come and go, and there's great stories and good stories. But if you can create a character that everybody loves, that's what lasts, you know. So that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you so much, Andy, for this interview.